What's up, guys? Alright, so today I kind of shifted gears. Last time we did talk about punishers, and I said that I would get into like a more advanced punishment guide in a little bit, but right now I actually want to sidetrack because I actually came up with this before I even did a punishment guide, and this is a quick little beginner slash intermediate tutorial into throws. Now, I want to preface this, preface, I don't know what the fuck the correct pronunciation is, but I want to open this up with something important, something that I think every player here should really take to heart. If you're fighting someone and they're accusing you of like, oh, stop fucking spamming throws, you scrub, ignore the shit out of them and throw them more. Seriously, do it. Throw them more. I was recently watching a tutorial for Ryu and Street Fighter 5 from Gutex, and he actually made mention that if you're not keeping throws in mind, it's like playing rock, paper, scissors, but without scissors. It's actually really fundamental to anyone's basic fighting game strategies. Throwing it is really, really important, and why you would not use it is beyond me, really. Unless you're kind of just not really into fighting games, and you just want to go all in and just destroy the opponent from the ground up. In which case, yeah, you can do that, but really, sometimes the opponent's gonna block, and sometimes they know how to punish your attacks. So at the end of the day, that's really just hurting you more in the long run. If you're fighting any like intermediate players, I'm certain beginner players you can probably get away without using throws too much, but you're gonna have to try them out eventually. It's just too convenient and too good not to. So, with that out of the way, I think we should get in. Unfortunately, for my little attack order list, I kind of mixed up. So I'm going to run down. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so I'm gonna mix up the list a little bit. We're gonna start this section with, actually have this a little more organized design. How about that shit? We're gonna start with the importance of throws and why you'd want to use them. Now, of course, there's the obvious stuff, but of course, there's a lot of the advanced stuff that you probably wouldn't know of offhand. So, let's just go down the list. Alright, so the first and most obvious one is that generally actually, I've never seen a fighting game actually not do it, but generally, throws are completely unblockable. Like, just as proof, I don't know why I'm doing this, but standing guard, so that no matter what you do, you're not gonna get through him. If you throw, goes right through his guard, easy peasy. I don't think I really need to explain this too much. Guards are beating my throws. That's pretty fundamental. Also, I'm using Armor King for this. Unfortunately, I'm kind of rusty with him in Tekken Tag 2. Tekken Revolution, I'm kind of solid with him, but not like fantastic. I gotta really brush up my giant swing practice. I can do it instant shining wizards point blank, but I can't do fucking giant swings. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, so yeah, my armor key is just a little rusty, but anyway. So there's the basic bread and butter stuff. They're unblockable. That's always good. Moving on from there. Now we're getting into like more advanced stuff. If you're using throws against your opponent and they don't know how to break throws, that's gonna really encourage them to start playing risky, because if you're being presented with this, like, say you're facing your opponent, and as you probably know in Tekken, in the entire Tekken series period, throws are breakable. Like, if I were to do a 1+3 throw, which is both buttons together, why is he backing up? That's hilarious, actually. You see my left hand come slightly forward. If I do a 2+4 throw, it's aka a 2 throw. You see my right hand comes forward. Basic stuff, basically. So when you can visually see them and press like left to break the 1+3 and press 2 to break 2+4, etc., etc. You probably get the idea of that. If the opponent here doesn't know how to do that, they're probably gonna start ducking or start backdashing a lot, or actually probably just ducking, period, because if they're a beginner player and they can't pull it off, they're probably gonna be playing really risky. And when you start ducking for no reason, that's when you're probably gonna get destroyed by, I don't know, like some, what's a good mid Armor King has, like hop kicks or 3+4 2. Let me just give a small example as to that. Hop kick. Yeah, not too good. And then there's also 3+4 2, which is low risk, very high reward, and etc., etc. You know where I'm going with this. So, against an inexperienced player, it will definitely encourage them to play riskier, and it will open up their guard greatly for you as the offender. It definitely gets inside your opponent's head, and it's like I just said. It will definitely encourage them to play risky. However, there's also another fundamental part of throws that you probably don't know. It's it definitely gets in your opponent's head, because let me give you a visual illustration about this. So you're on the receiving end of this, and you just got hit by a giant swing. You have to sit through this whole goddamn animation. You just got 65 points of damage done to you. And every time someone hits you with a giant swing, or like a shining wizard, or to really piss them off, you could do this. Shit, I messed it up. But I'm gonna definitely got to get that down for the advanced section, but you know what I mean. So if you get hit by a throw, you're gonna be rattled. Basically, you're like, ah, shit, I gotta sit through this animation. I can't do anything about this damage. I'm getting on the floor, and I just got duped. Shit. So even just being on the receiving end of the throw is definitely gonna get you in your opponent's head, and start making them highly respecting you as a player. Yeah, because like, if you get hit by 2+4 throw, you have to sit through this every time, just stew like, oh god damn it, just hit me with that again. Basically, this has been discussed in an earlier guide, but it definitely ties in this. It gives great wake up games. Like, if I just set the AI to just like not do anything, just off. Armor King's 1+3 throw will leave your opponent like right here by your feet, and you can do like any number of things. You can do stomps, you can do like down back 3, you can do burning knuckle if you want to. I don't know. Up 4-2 and its variations. You know, like the standard wake up Oki game that you can get off of this. Nothing too special, but it leaves them right by your feet, and anything that you do to wake up is extremely unsafe. There's also like why did it not come out? There we go. Sorry about that. That leaves them right by your feet again. Very good. Yeah, usually throws will give you a very heavily beneficial wake-up game, so that you can do a great number of things in it. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit for like specific setups. And if they're done correctly, it comes at like no risk to you as a player whatsoever. It's actually pretty great. For visual, that say you are playing an opponent that does know how to break throws, or knows they're gonna throw and they're able to break it. Well, if I do a throw and they manage to break it, that's not a very good example. 2+4. As you can see, I'm pretty much at the exact same range from when I let the throw rip. Oh boy. So, everything's happening. One of these days I wanted to turn it off. Anyway. And then there's, actually, yeah, if just used right, if the throw gets best case scenario, if your opponent's sharp, they get hit by a throw, and you're pretty much like left in this neutral position. So if you time if you know your mids and you know your strike mix-ups, and you go for a throw, and they can't like visually react to it and they break it, it comes at like no risk to the user whatsoever. So if they broke the throw, who cares? Maybe you'll be at like -1 or 2 frames, but that's really about it. You're not gonna get launch punished, and you're not gonna take damage. Unless it's Soul Calibur 5, or breaking throws does do damage to the opponent. Soul Calibur 5's dumb. Anyway, I say that with good attention, damn it. Yeah, basically, those are all the advantages of actually using throws. However, that discussed, there are some drawbacks that we gotta go over. Because, from what I just said, you might be like, oh shit, throws are like the end-all be-all of attacks. I should definitely use them a lot more. It's true that throws are sometimes pretty low risk, but there's some fundamentals you do have to keep in mind. And chiefly among them, which one we're going over? Yeah, that would actually be a pretty good idea to go over. Alright, so first off, let me turn throw escape off and actually set the AI to record so I can visually showcase this. Usually in a fighting game, I don't know how many this actually applies to, but whiffed throw, meaning, meaning that a throw that misses, you're just standing out in the open. Actually, let me do that again. Into a 1+3 throw. Okay, cool. Oops. Yeah, again. Basically, throws are relatively low risk. I'm losing my train of thought already. Holy shit. Throws are relatively low risk, but if they're dodged, like in Tekken, if they're out in the open, they're not that bad, but it just gives you enough range, like for like a really quick punch, like a back 3 with Armor King, or maybe if you have the reflexes for it, maybe a clothesline or something like that. I don't fucking know. I'm just making stuff up. Oh wait, no, I know what the good one is. 4-2-1. That's definitely a great whiff punish for it. Or in worst case scenario, they read you like a book and you get ducked and you get launched because you were crouching. You can do a while standing punish out of it. Yeah, look at this. So throws aren't like unbeatable, but you gotta definitely use them up close and be wise with them. All right, next drawback. This might seem obvious, but they do not net you as much damage as a combo. Granted, I'll go over this later, but there are throws that do start combos, but for the grand majority of things, excuse me, throws aren't getting nearly as much damage as a combo. So while I do go through guards, unfortunately they're not gonna be getting you like 102 damage like I could do with like Armor King of Bruce and that team. God damn, that team is so good. But anyway, yeah, just because you get like a 35 damage, that's all well and good, but that's because you're not gonna get anything higher than that. There's no way to really extend it unless you go for like the crazy shit, which we'll go over in a little bit. Yeah, so low risk, low reward. They just get you inside of your opponent's head, but it's really the added benefits overall that'll add up definitely for throwing. And lastly, this more is situational than anything else. I didn't mention that, yeah, let's just switch this up actually. I did mention this earlier that 2+4 when broken. Why the hell am I doing that? No, thank you. Advanced settings, throw escape on. Okay. So when you try to throw your opponent, if you're depending on your character, this could be a bad thing, or depending on the character, it could be a good thing. Oftentimes, when you have a throw broken, you're gonna be standing right next to your opponent, at like maybe 0 frames, maybe +1 frame, maybe -1 frame. I'll explain why that's important later on, but all you need to know right now is that if you're at plus frames, you can keep an offense going. If you're at negative frames, you can't, etc., etc. So if I get 2+4 broken, unfortunately, I feel Armor King is a little bit better played at a distance, where it could do like Shining Wizard stuff, or like Giant Swing if you wanted to, or like just whip punch like back 3 or 4-2-4. That's just like, or 4-2-1. That's just like basic like fundamentals. If I break this throw or have this throw broken, I am point blank from my opponent. And if it's like Heihachi, who excels at point blank mid and high attacks, that's probably gonna be more bad for me than anything else. Or if it's like, I don't know, fucking large or something, or basically anyone that excels at point blank, I'm not in a very good position. And if I want to get back to my optimal position, I gotta do something risky. Like I gotta maybe do like this, or like a hop kick, or just get something good blocked, sidestep. I gotta get out of that range. You generally see what I mean. 2+, it's definitely smaller stuff. Like if I get a throw broken, I'm not gonna get launched or anything. But it's definitely these small nuances that definitely add into a throw game, and will definitely give you not necessarily as big an edge of your opponent as if you just know your pokes and your pressure, or your punishers, but it's definitely going to give you a hell of an edge. Alright, so with that being said, I think we could start going down the actual list of throws that are generally out there. There's probably some I go over that aren't actually in other fighting games. Maybe there's more fighting games I actually know of. But these are generally all the ones I can actually illustrate and can talk about and do know exist. Alright, first up, standing throws. Yeah, it's your oops. Let me turn that off actually. Standing throws generally just refer to like your generic command grab at close. Everyone has them. Every character has them. 1+3, 2+4. Tekken characters do have like a generic 1 throw and a generic 2 throw. Sometimes I'll have like a 1+2 throw, but that's getting more specific for stuff later on. But I mean like right now. They're generally broken the same way. They have like the same speed. And stuff like Street Fighter, I think different characters have like different throw ranges or different like start speed for throws. I'm not too certain about that. I mean, I am learning about Street Fighter, but I don't know that much like specific throw games. But you know, besides like Zinc, if I know his throw is like, it's pretty good. Not compared to fucking Armor King stuff, but you know what I mean. Anyway, command throws. Command throws generally mean a throw that is done that has multiple inputs in order for it to actually execute. So where I could just press like 2 buttons to get a generic throw with Armor King. He also has like, okay, let me pull up a list. He's got down back +1+2, which is his DDT. Meaning let me go bring up the command list actually. That'll be kind of nice for this. Not input delay. That's what happens when you get distracted. You can't keep track on this thing. Okay, so down back. Almost you can see it down in the command list. This is how you get a command throw. It's generally a specific, like, one or more directional inputs that you have to input with the character in order to actually get the move to come out. There's also the tombstone pile driver, down back, and then into forward 2+4. That I can never seem to get on a consistent basis, son of a bitch. And then there's also other stuff like giant swing, which is like the magnum opus of command throws, really, and so on and so forth. Like, I think there's there's electric chair also, done by being a full crouch and then going like down back, down back, boom boom boom. Yeah, like stuff like that. Really, that's generally what command throw is. Command throw basically means that you have to input a command and then like the button of what you need in order to actually for it to come out. Street Fighter, I feel, has like a shitload of them, really, between like Abel, Zangief. I'm not really sure who else. I don't know. I'm not that big into Street Fighter, but I do know characters like Tager and BlazBlue, Potemkin from, like just any character that could be labeled as like a throw character, generally speaking, might have like a handful or more of command throws. That's why I feel Armor King is a beautifully designed character, and just King in general, because in a lot of other games, characters are designated as throw characters, or I think there's a more universal term for that, but you know what I mean. They're usually like big, slow, and kind of like bulky, and just don't have very good maneuverability. Armor King has the same kind of maneuverability as a lot of other characters in Tekken, if not more so, because he actually has a wave dash. And he's got great normal attacks. He's got great throws. That's why I feel he's a beautifully crafted character. He's like a perfect blend between like a striker character and an actual throw character. I actually love that design, but that's just me personally. Moving on, ground throws. Depending on the character, that might be good, might be bad. Ground throw is basically just a throw you do on your opponent when they're on the ground. I don't think I need to explain this too much. I mean, fucking timing down. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. Off. Alright, now it's starting to clutter the screen a little bit. Hang on 1 sec. That's not it. Alright, cool. So. There we go. So, generally, ground throw is basically just like throws you can do at your opponent while they're on the ground. I don't really see this apply to 2D games so much, more so as 3D, because when you're 3D, they're still like, you can still hit them while on the ground. So stuff like Virtua Fighter has like a shitload of them. Soul Calibur, I think, has some ground throws. Astaroth might have some. I'm not too certain of that, but yeah, generally. Oh, no, wait, I know Nightmare does. I think Secret does have some still. I don't know. But anyway, you get the idea. Ground throws, basically throws you can do at your opponent while on the ground. Definitely add to great wake up. Sometimes you can pick your opponent up and like maybe just wall splat him or get you into a combo with him. I don't know. It's giving you some great advantage, free damage, yeah, etc., etc. Moving on. Air throws. Let me see how many times it takes for me to actually get this right, because I am not good at landing shining wizards in midair. Or there we go. Air throws. I don't think I can explain it too much. Sometimes it'll just be like a command throw that allows you to do it in the air. Like, let me give you a visual of that. Who is Giant Swing? Let's see, double arm swing. This is a command for Giant Swing, and then you'll have the same input for an aerial opponent, which will be like this one. Kaboom, down the ground. And then there's also like Shining Wizards input. Let me see if I can give it a visual. All right, I should actually be explaining some of these too. Actually, I should have mentioned that command throws usually require like complex inputs to actually break, if not unbreakable altogether. It will generally give you a higher reward for when you actually land it. Like a command throw, Giant Swing gives you like 65 points of damage. However, it is techable, but it still does give a shitload of damage. Along with other benefits. Some other things like Tombstone Pile Driver gives you like a shitload of damage. Great wake ups. 58, and the generic amount or the usual amount for a throw in this game is like 35 damage. So considering you can extend the damage that much is really good. So, running throws are generally really good for when you're ending a combo. Let me see if I can visually showcase that. Was I going to mention that later? Yeah, whatever. Nah, show up later so I don't fuck it up right now. Air throws, yeah, I don't need to really explain that too much. In stuff like 2D games, then that's usually like a great anti-air move. In Tekken, it's just basically there for like if just looks like a good combo ender. Nothing too fancy really. I'll talk more about that stuff later. Chain throws. Basically, when you initiate, oops, missed that last one. Chain throws basically refer to when you do a certain throw. Sometimes you'll have extensions off of it. Like you've seen this already, but if I do 2+4, if I don't do anything, it just converts to like a regular suplex. However, if I do the 2 throw and I press down, 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 1+2, very fast, it'll actually allow me to extend it into a I'm not sure what that is. It's like some form of a power driver. Anyway, I think there's an actual name for that around here somewhere. Actually, 1 second. I'm curious now. Somebody. This is actually Jaguar screwdriver. Yeah, it makes sense to me. But yeah, you can see the command there. That's generally what a command. No, just chain throw is. However, a more technical example would be by showcasing this, where the hell it is. Mexican Magnum Drive. I think that's what it actually is. Yep. Start with Cobra Clutch, goes into extensions, yada yada yada. Let me bring up the command display so I can actually visually showcase that. Advanced settings. Like having to continuously do this over and over again. Okay. That initiates the first part by pressing 2-1, 1+2 in order to actually like extend the throw. Because the throw by itself is just this. 20 damage, 2-1, 1+2 extends it into the hip toss. And doing this results in a move called the 3 count pound. Back of the head, 63. Very good. I think I actually had mastered that by hand. That's actually his highest damage command input. However, each one can be broken by like, if your opponent knows you're going for like this specific one, they can break like 2 for like different parts of the throat and they can technically escape it. So it's not like guaranteed fucking damage. Oh god, it'll be broken as hell. It just requires some knowledge. Each part of the chain throw can be broken, so it's not like unbeatable. But anyway, and then attack throws. Yeah, I can Stone Cold Stunner. Attack throws are basically throws you get off of attacks, like back forward here. It's just like a generic kick. However, if you press 1+2 on the frame and hits the opponent, which I can never really do on a consistent basis, which is why I don't really use a stunner, it converts into that throw animation of the stunner from, you probably know, wrestling, Stone Cold Stunner, yada yada. Generally, that's what it is. So, yeah, that's generally what an attack throw is. Other stuff would be like, actually, I don't really know a whole lot of others, but, yeah, so, there we go. And now just some miscellaneous stuff I can talk about. Wall throws, crouch throws. Oh my god, why would you ever use crouch throw? Okay, so a crouch throw would be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna show the command. Let's not too lazy to do it right now. Crouching enemy. You can do these. They get okay damage, but really, here's the big question. So crouching throws, yeah, they'll work. But why would you do it if you know your opponent's gonna crouch? Why wouldn't you just launch them with the hop kick or some shit like that? I mean that's kind of flashy, but really, why would you do a crouching throw in that instance? So yeah, now we're just getting to like the miscellaneous stuff. I talked about the big shit already. Going from there, parry throws. So if you like, it's basically just like a parry, but transitions into a throw. Usual like parry mechanics in Tekken apply here. This one, compared to the crippler crossface. So yeah, that's generally what I think. It has another one. No, I thought he had more than one parry throw. Apparently I was wrong. Anyway, back turn throws. Alright, so throws in... Should I talk about this now? Nah, I'll talk about more specifically later. Stance throws. I'll talk about more again later. Combo starting throws. I don't have access to... I can't visually showcase a combo starting throw right now because characters that have like combo starting throws would be like... any Mishima that have Stonehead throw against the wall because it does wall splat there. There's also Bob with 4-4 1+2, which is fucking that's ridiculous. Yeah. I'll talk about it more in depth later. So anyway, those are generally like the most common forms of throws you'll find in fighting games. If there's any of the others I missed, which I highly doubt I did, maybe there's like long range throws or like projectile. Oh god, it'd be so weird, just like a projectile throw. What the fuck? No. Anyway, so we have all this information for us, but in truth, you're probably only gonna use like depending on the game, you're probably only gonna use like maybe 3 or 4 throws at maximum, because Armor King here has like, where is a good start? Okay, he has like all these fucking throws. I bet you like 20 of his 1 to 15 moves is like just throws, and all that are like different variations and stuff. Yeah, so this is a lot to take in, but really, I can guarantee you you can boil it down to just a handful, and I'm going to showcase some setups you can use for throws, because well, you can't just throw, you can't just like let throw rip raw like from over here, like, hey, I bet you this is gonna work. Nope. I wonder if this will work. Nope. Maybe this. Nope. You know what I'm talking about. So now I'm gonna give some examples, because I can't like give examples for like every single fucking fighting game character out there. You'll have to actually look up guides for like specific throw characters, like throw steps in your game of choice. So right now we'll just quickly go down like some throw setups I know for Armor King that might give you an idea of what you can do in your fighting game, which one it may be. So anyway, solid mix up with Armor King. Down 4-1 between 1+3 and 2+4. Into suplex preferably, but anyway. So, as I've shown earlier, basically crouching allows you to beat throws. If you crouch, you can't get thrown, but you can get launched by a mid. So yeah, basically. Mids beat crouches, throws can be beaten by crouching. It's like the whole generic setup. So how do you mix up your opponent with this? Well, basically, you have to use your mids so damn much that they never want to crouch. Like if they start crouching, like we're gonna send them to actually just like send them to crouch. Punch, crouch. This motherfucker's screwed. So if he keeps crouching like an idiot, he's just gonna keep eating down 4-1s from Armor King all day, which is an extremely solid move with him. So how do you mix that up? You can, well, from here, this is extremely like level 1 mix ups with Armor King and mix ups in general, but just mix up your mids with throws. And sometimes maybe if your opponent's like hammering one button in order to like get a whole bunch of moves out, they might throw break eventually, which is when you just use your other throw. If it's great because you can keep doing this. If your opponent keeps trying to swing, it'll keep eating this, so they'll have to block eventually. And then once that happens, go for the extensions. You're good to go. Extremely level 1 stuff right there. Just using your down 4-1 as like the core of your offense, and then occasionally throwing in using your throws. God, I gotta avoid using that button as much as possible. Anyway, moving on. A more core battle strategy with Armor King is to stay out of range, and eventually, occasionally just move in and do damage with Shining Wizard, which is like what this is generally called. And if your opponent misses an attack, you're at a good range to do Giant Swing, and there's a very good chance they won't be able to break it. There's a very good reason for that too. It's because, should I talk about that right now? Yeah, I'll talk about Giant Swing right now. All right, Giant Swing, one of the most fucked up throws in the game. Actually, one of the most fucked up moves in the game. Period. All right, so let me just quickly showcase the input for that. It's this. Overwhelmed by the input yet? I know I sure am. No, it's actually, it really just requires you to know that you press forward once, then half circle forward, and then 1. If you want to practice it, basically just go into command history, pop it open, and just practice for a while, and just see what you missed. Like maybe you'll do like one. I usually do jabs as a practice. Maybe you'll do like forward half circle forward instead of like forward half circle forward, or maybe you'll do what I was doing earlier and get like you'll complete. How did I get that? How did that work? I missed the back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks to leniency frames. All right. Or maybe you'll be too late on some of the inputs. Down forward. Oh, that's screw up. Interesting. Or maybe sometimes you go and up it by mistake. Generally, you just go into training mode, open that up, start practicing for a little bit. Alright, so the magic part about Giant Swing is that it's 10 frames fast, meaning that from the time you do the input to actually getting the throw to come out. Let me see if I can actually do this. 1+3 throw. That's not a throw, I can assure you. Alright, Bob, just chill out. That's what that's what it looks like. God, how out of practice am I with Armor King? Alright. Alright, you guys can take my word for it then. Giant Swing is the fastest throw in a game that I'm aware of. It comes out in 10 frames instead of the usual 14 frames with these kinds of moves. Like, damn, how bad am I screwing this up? Okay. Oh, of course, now I get it easily. There we go. Maybe I'm better on 2-player side, I don't know. But yeah, basically, from the time you start inputting the command to the time it actually comes out, it's 10 frames. You can easily... A trick is to actually, quote-unquote, buffer the input into the recovery of a previous animation. So, like, after the down forward 1 connects, like, literally during that recovery, I can buffer the entire input so that it comes out perfectly the next time. And this gets plus 5 frames, 10, and the Giant Swing itself is 10 frames. The only opponents only have like a 5-frame window to do anything, and in that they can't jab, interrupt, they can't do any attacks. I don't think they can sidestep actually. I might be wrong with that. Let me try it actually. Sidestep left. Let's see how bad I screw this up. Nope. Okay, he's gonna sidestep left. Come on. I actually don't even know what the startup frames for the throw. Yeah, whatever. I'll experiment with that later. But you see what I mean. If you can get it perfectly, then you're all set to go. You can beat everything they try to do, basically. And the other option is Instant Shining Wizard, which has insane range, comes out stupidly fast. Like, and if you're really sharp at the inputs, you could do like 3 inputs. This is like very advanced tech and stuff, and I'm not extremely good at it. Like, I can do Shining Wizard from like sometimes point blank range. I really gotta assign 2+4 to a button, I swear to God. Anyway, so moving on from there. Back turn, 1+3 and 2+4. Armor King technically has a back turn stance. Question mark, because, alright, let me just quickly turn off command history again so I don't screw it up again. Alright, so for back turn, every throw in a game actually looks exactly the same. Meaning that if I go back turn with Armor King, basically meaning that I do a move that leaves me facing away from my opponent, you might be thinking, oh shit, his back's toward me, I can do whatever I want. Not so much. He does have moves out of, like, that are dedicated to come out of back turn, so it's not always a good idea. So with that out of the way, his generic 1 and 2 throw now look exactly the same. Can you tell the difference? I sure as hell can't. This is the 1 throw, both hands come forward. This is a 2 throw, both hands come forward. So you're literally in Soul Calibur time with this. You have to guess which one's coming out. That's a great setup. So a common one would be like 3+4, your left back turned, and your opponent has to guess what I'm going to be doing. If they try to crouch, you can launch them, or you can like, you can launch them, or you can launch them. Yeah, basically, that's the, wow, I didn't know that flips around. I have to remember that sometime. Ooh, cool. Yeah, basically, that's the idea. Because that makes it a very deadly mix-up. However, it's generally not that recommended with him, but you see what I mean. Fang? Oh god. He's got 3 throws out of it that look exactly the same. So you have a 1 in 3 chance of guessing the right throw break. And one of them does 50 damage and staying wake up on block. Or on hit. Stupid. I'll probably talk more about it later. Alright, next up. Anything in the Giant Swing. I said before, Giant Swing comes out at 10 frames. Anything that gives you like solid frame advantage, you could do it. Oh yeah, now I'm doing it consistently. Go figure. If you know recovery and you get the execution perfect, technically you can do Giant Swing off of anything that gives you maybe +1 or more frames. So basically, literally any move that goes into Giant Swing, because 10 frames and anything gives you frame advantage, your opponent cannot jab interrupt you. It's fucking fantastic as a pressure tool. And next up is, what is that? Giant Swing and Tombstone? Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Alright, so you can actually mix up between Giant Swing and Tombstone. Let me show you why. Because this makes it it's kind of like a juiced up version of your 1+3 and your 2+4. So, you know, your generic 50-50 seeable reaction throw step, you know. So now you have a 1 throw that looks like a fucking 1+2 throw. The animation is lying to you. Yeah, it's great. It looks like a 1+2 throw, and it throws off a lot of people because you're like, oh shit, well, the hands are going for it. I should press 1+2. Nope, it has to be broken by 1. I know, it's like the only move in the game I know of that does that. It lies to you. But anyway, and you can mix that up with 2+4 giant or tombstone pile driver, 58 damage, significant amount of fucking damage, and look, it leaves them right next to you. You got so much frame advantage to do whatever the hell you want. And between that and giant swing, you know, the scariest move in fucking human history. Jesus. And yeah, so you had even then that's just like a really generic kind of mix up that will just net you so much shit. Next up, or lastly, okay, this is where I have to chill out and hope I don't fuck it up. All right, Shining Wizard into forward roll into giant swing. Okay, this is where it's gonna get weird. So I'm on the ground after I just did a giant swing. And I'm dropping a hell of a lot of frames. Wow, that's fast. Okay, I'll work about that later. You can forward roll into giant swing. I'm gonna have to resync that fucking audio later. Great. Anyway, moving on. You do that. Forward roll, giant swing. Okay, this. We're doing this already, huh? Okay. There we go. Okay, so the setup for that is if your opponent, like, I'll set it up so that the opponent does not do anything once they get down on the floor. Set that off. Shit. Okay, so after Shining Wizard, both of us are on the floor and we're not really doing anything. Also, actually, I'm just going to pause for 1 second. So both of us are lying on the floor now, and what's that do for us? Well, that might say, well, we can't really do shit. We're just got to both stand up and just get on with our lives. However, if that were not so much the case, so if your opponent just quick stands after that, after a Shining Wizard, and try doing anything, kind of a gimmicky setup, I've seen this work a few times, is Shining Wizard, you're on the floor. What you can do is, if they try quick stand on the floor, you can roll towards them, or like, if you can like roll backwards into giant swing. I've never actually done that input, but yeah, you can do that. Something cool about giant swing is that you can crouch if your execution is good, unlike mine. But yeah, you see what I mean. By the way, do you guys notice by now that this is literally, you literally can just roll down Armor King's throws to just like maybe 3 or 4 at max. Yep. That happens. So that's like 45 damage followed by 65. They know tech roll, they're almost dead. Yeah, that's hilariously good. So it hopefully gives you an idea that you can easily mix up throws into your in-close like poking game very easily and very substantially. So not all is lost if you can't pull it off. Yeah, just doing throws out in the open generally isn't that good of an idea. If you land attack and they're still standing, you can easily go for throw. If you're doing a lot of stuff and they're just like, oh shit, they're shitting something basically, you can just go for a throw, and etc, etc. So yeah, that's basically all of it. Sum up right there. All right, now I did mention this earlier, but it's time to talk about some wake up games you can do off throws. Oh, it's where it gets good. So I gotta talk about every throw he has and go into extensive detail about every single one of them. But I'll just talk about one throw in particular. His generic 1 throw, 1+3. I did say this earlier, but this throw has fantastic wake ups. And I'm gonna show you most of the examples I can think of offhand. I'm not too sure what they all are actually. So anyway, let's go down the list of stuff. And it's a good thing I wrote some of this shit out. Alright. Wake up low kick out of this stance. Yeah, you probably know what it is. Just wake up, do a low kick if I'm like trying to do stuff, blocking high, etc, etc. Alright, so if I do that, and I know he's gonna do a wake up low kick, hop kick. You can't do the high damage, but whatever. There's also the option of doing 3+4 2 if I don't want to be as risky. And then there's also, what's the other one? 0-4-3? Yeah, I could do that. Okay, no, it comes out faster than that. There we go. Yeah, it totally comes up fast on that. So moving on from there, if he does a wake up mid kick. Not that. There we go. I can block it. Punish him, maybe? Maybe. Let me try that. Oh, wait. Shit. I know I can do this. There we go. Sidestep, launch. If I can telegraph it, let me just quickly try. An easier version of that would be like hop kick. Yeah, there you go. If you can telegraph that they are going to do that. If they back roll, well, they're dumb as hell for trying to back roll out of that, but let's go over why. I can dash back, down back 2-3 to hit him for 52 damage. I can, what else is in here? Dash 4-1? Yeah, that's okay. Boom, boom. Captain back turn, send him to the floor again. One more? Dash back throw? Oh yeah, I can do it. I'm pretty sure this is possible because I was taking notes of it extensively. Or Shining Wizard after them. Oh yeah, that totally works, yeah. Okay, cool. And those are options of a back roll. For a side roll, you can hit him with a good number of stuff. So like side roll left. Shit. Hit him with stomps maybe. Other stuff you can do is like down back 1+. Down back 1+3, seriously? Okay, let's try it. Oh yeah, no shit. It does actually work. Cool. So I guess, I didn't know his options actually track out of that. That's kind of cool. Actually, these are all notes and all notes I wrote up myself. I don't remember some of this stuff. How about that? Anyway, side roll. If they try a quick stand, let's see. You can do a mix-up of your choosing, but then there's also the high execution option, which let's see if I can pull this off. No. Down to? No. Come on, I know there's something I could do off this. No? Shit. Alright, well, I guess if they quite technically tech roll it, then I guess they're kind of fine? Maybe? I'm not sure about that. No, something feels off about this. I feel like there should be something I can do. Down 4-3? Come on, I know he has an option for people to gallop off the ground raw. Ah, whatever. I'm certain he's got some mix up for that. That leaves him grounded. Oh, wait, you know what? I saw something. I bet this works. No? Ah, crap, it recovers way too slow. Well, I guess I'm just going to worry about it later then. Alright, next up. If they try a tag crash, which is like when they, you should probably know what tag crash is if you're... But tag crash is extremely tech and tattoo related. It's just, something specific I want to talk about. Action on the floor. Tag crash. Basically, it's when they do this, and if your opponent is rage, they can tag crash in safely. I'm not sure exactly what Armor King's specific tag crash options are. Offhand, there's something. I mean, like, if you can sidewalk it to technically do that, I guess. I don't know. That's not gonna work or anything. Bunch more stuff. Wait, I think I can technically backdash, maybe? No? Well, whatever. I'm certain Armor King's got... whatever his anti-tag crash options are, Armor King can do it. So, those... Yeah, as I see, that's just one throw that gives you really solid wake-up options, and those are all... That's all the shit you can do off of it. That's pretty good, all things considered. And this is just off his generic 1+3 throw. Now, can you imagine if you start taking it up higher to, like, other significant stuff like Tombstone Pile Driver? Or other shit you can do with throws? Yeah. This is just a small sample of what you can do with the wake-up options off of throws. And don't forget that this is why people need to fear throws. Is because the wake-up games are so good most of the time. Depends on the throw, really. If they're closer to you, then, yeah, you can fuck them up really easily. Especially depending on the position. Anyway. So, now I did want to make a separate video for this, but... I guess I'm just going to throw in here. Stuff you can do with throws at the wall that will result in very specific situations. So let me go to position settings. Wall hit. Oh god, it's dark as hell. Yeah, it works. So, first of all, I want my back to the wall so I can showcase some defensive options. Oops. Reverse. No. There we go, reverse. Have myself on the left. I hope you guys can see this because this stage is a little darker lit, but yeah, it should be okay. So, some stuff that so as I said before, right now I am in the danger zone. I can get easily wall splat by a whole host of things and have my butt reamed so hard, but all is not lost yet. I'm still standing. I still have my guards. I still have my defense, but I have something else I can do that a lot of characters don't really give you these kinds of solid options at the wall for throws, but Armor King is definitely a unique situation because Armor King's throws are really good. So let's talk. So I have my back to the wall. What can I do? So, I can, if I manage to retaliate with something like maybe I get like a 2+4 or a down 4 1 in, I can technically do my throw, my 2+4 throw generic, and trade spots with them. So now my opponent's the one with the ass to his wall that I can just destroy so thoroughly. But anyway, that's that. I have no real confidence with this team whatsoever. Then there is 1+3, which if it hits, I am definitely very far away from the wall, and he is to the wall now. Not good for him. However, here's the unique thing about that throw actually. Let me set it so that he will guard break. If I can remember where it is. Advanced settings. There we go. Alright, so a unique thing about this throw actually is that even if your opponent breaks it, I am technically away from the wall. He's not to the wall. I'm not at the wall. So I just need to space a little bit. And look how much distance there is between us. Even though I do have my back turned towards him, he can't do anything about that really. So like just down back. Distance yourself away from the wall. Very good stuff. So, yeah. That means that if your opponent's standing, even if they break the throw and they're good enough to do so, you're still away from the wall. And that's really fucking solid. So, yeah, fantastic. That basically means that if your opponent's not going to crouch, which odds are probably good they won't if they're standing, they're going to be looking for that wall splat with, like, anything they have that can do so. Yeah, so just, like, throw it out. Even if they do break it, they're fucked anyway. Or, they're not fucked, but you are in a solid position. However, the same cannot be said for his 2+4 throw, because as shown earlier, it just leaves you and your opponent in the same position, so, Take what you can get. Anyway, moving on. DDT. Down, back, 1+2. It will trade spots to the opponent if it does hit. It will move you away on break. Oh yeah, that's right, it does actually. So even if they break it, you're not technically out of the wall yet, but it does move you a little bit away from it, like on break. This is like an old style kind of generic break they had since like Tekken 1, I think. So yeah, basically you could just, as long as they don't duck, you can technically use this, even if they do break it, and force yourself away from the wall. But again, it's kind of risky because some characters do have like wall splatting moves at like 10, 11 frames, like Jinpachi, Kazuya, you know, all the good stuff. And throws are 14 frames, so you have to set these up like off of this maybe, and then you can get yourself away from the wall, or like, yeah, then you're like safely away from the wall. Anyway, moving on, Frankensteiner. Oh, this is fun. Alright, the thing about Frankensteiner, this move is really cool. Alright, so the Frankensteiner is technically an attack throw, I would probably say, but there's like no command for it. It just, if it hits, it goes into it. It's a low crushing special mid that can only be avoided by crouching, funny enough. I know, right? This looks like it's a fucking high move. Why would you not want to crouch against it? It looks like a mid. But no, it's actually, it can only be avoided by crouching. So let me showcase that. Crouching. Yeah, see that? So even if they crouch it, I'm just on the ground, and you know what? That's a whole hell of a lot better than being standing against the wall, like crouching so they can wall splat me. So yeah, and again, if you're at the wall, you can't get wall splat technically. If it does hit, you're training your opponents with spots with the opponent. Let me see if I can showcase this. I'm pretty sure it works. Oh yeah, that works. A cool thing about it is it's also tag bufferable, so you can tag in your partner. Just do whatever the hell you want. So if you're like low on health, this is like a great get out of jail free card technically. Although it can be floated, But yeah, that's more for like offensive purposes than anything else. Anyway, moving on. Let me set that back to standing. What else do we have at the wall? Giant swing. Oh my god. So if my back is to the wall, you've seen that giant swing can throw people like towards my back, right? And okay, actually I should also tell you the secret about giant swing. If I can, there we go. I'm somehow better with it when I buffer it now. That's ridiculous. But let's see. All right, definitely want throw break to be off. Okay, so get myself away from the wall for a little bit because I still need it for later purposes. So if I throw the opponent and they don't tech the throw, 65 points is damage, and they're all the way over there. If they do tech it, let me see if I can quickly do this. Where is it? Quick recovery. I think that's it. Should be. Yeah, maybe. I am so bad with it right now. Alright, there we go. Muscle memory has it so I can only do off and down for ones. Great. Really? That's not it. Hang on. Quick roll, side roll, left, front roll. Is it that? Let me try it. I am determined to showcase this sometime today. You guys get to enjoy the giant swing even more so now. There we go. Okay, so if you tech roll to the throw or like side quick roll, it instead of doing 65 damage, it only does 45 points of damage, which is definitely what you'd rather be hit by. So you better be mashing on 3+4 while, like a madman while you're doing it. But at the wall, or normally you can avoid that 65 points of damage. If you get wall splat by it, you can't avoid it. That's 70 points of damage guaranteed. That's kind of horrifying, if I do say so myself. And if your back's to the wall because it's 10 frames, like pray to gods that you're able to actually do this. If they, yeah, trade spots, 70 points of damage, you just swung the tides of battle so much more in your favor. And your back doesn't even have to be directly against the wall either. You can just do it on the open, like slide at an angle. Boom, 70 points of damage. Same with over here. Basically, if anytime you're within like the opponent's like forward field of vision from like anywhere with like 180 degrees in front of them, you can easily threaten with a giant swing. It's fantastic. And that just also feeds into the mix up with like Frankenstein, with Tombstone and all that good stuff. Yeah, very good stuff. Even on break, I think this will still work. Let me try that quickly. Throw escape on. Yeah, even if they break the throw, their ass is way back in there. Oh my god. Just in case you guys missed that. Fuck. There we go. Yeah, so they're way back in there. So yeah, 10 frames fast, you can definitely use that as a great defensive tool against the wall. Moving from there, what we got? Yeah, I guess I could do it. Alright, so changing positions now. So instead of me being against the wall, I'm going to have Armor King here against the wall, or the other guy against the wall. Position settings, have it off. Okay, so if I'm like this, I can use 2+4 into the 1+2 extension off this pile driver. I'll fuck it up. There we go. And this leaves them right at the wall. It leaves them. It doesn't change position whatsoever. It's like 45 damage points, 45 damage free, and they're grounded. I can do like a lot of wake up options against them, and it's just not a very pleasant time for them overall. Same with Tombstone. Tombstone actually even more so because it leaves them in a bread position. I think you recover faster or not. Yeah, very good stuff. The 2+4 break by itself, actually this is great because let me see if I can quickly. Is it still set to? No, it's not set to throwback. Let's turn that back on. Okay, so 2+4, as I said before, I could turn it back on. No, there we go. Okay, so like I said before, 2+4 on break, it'll leave them right where they were before. So there's really no risk of throwing this out if you know they're not going to crouch and you know they're going to throw break. And if it does work and if it does connect, you know, like I said before, go into the extension, which I apparently cannot do today for some reason, even though it's like the lowest execution thing in the game. There you go. Yeah, easy stuff. So yeah, the wall 2+4. As long as you know your opponent's not going to break it, you're fine. Same with Tombstone? Yeah. Alright, so let me bring that back up. Tombstone Pile Driver is just like the DDT. It will do like the generic break. It will keep them. Looks like they're actually kept a little closer at the wall than if the DDT was broken. Yeah, it kind of looks like it a little bit. Basically. Yeah, so no real harm in that in throwing that out either. Although 2+4 is technically better because they don't move whatsoever. I'm not sure about the frame data on that exactly. Let me check the frame data actually. See if I can get a visual on it. Analysis. Looks like I'm at like -1 or something. It's probably not gonna show up on the capture card, but it looks like I recover just a little bit slower than the opponent. So I'm probably like at -1 or something. Meanwhile, this looks like we're at 0 because we recover at like the exact same time. Alright, cool. So it's good to know throw escape or the tombstone or suplex is actually -1 frame. Alright, that's kind of cool. Let me just turn it off because that bothers the hell out of me after a while. Okay. Alright, that's off. So yeah, basically at the wall, you have throws serve a hell of a lot higher purpose than you would initially be led to believe. And so if you are you sick of throw break talking and talk of Oki yet? Alright, let's move on to some other stuff. So other miscellaneous stuff that we could talk about with throws just before we. Nah, actually, we got a wall that we ruined this. Never mind. Get a quick drink. Alright. Alright, cool. Now I have the privilege of attempting to land this. Bridge settings. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's just go down some list of stuff that I couldn't really fit into any particular category. And we'll start with air throws. Air throws are actually generally good as like combo enders because sometimes they'll be in certain situations they'll actually do unskilled damage, as you know. In Tekken, the higher the combo, yeah, actually landed that. That's pretty cool. That wasn't what I was trying to get. I wasn't what I was trying to do either. Generally they do it's like a really flashy finisher, and sometimes they'll do a really heavy amount of damage at the end of the combo too. So it's definitely really good for your purposes if that's the case. Let me see if I can actually do the hard one. That wasn't the hard one. Ah, what was the hard one? Oh, I remember. Shit. I think I gotta do it just a little faster. I'm really bad at I don't practice this team enough. Actually, I don't really use Armor King that much in this game anyway. Back one is so much better in Check Revolution. Ah, God, what's the timing of that? Alright, one more time. Fuck. Alright, one more. I'm gonna do it a lot later. Nope. Okay, looks like I'm not letting that today. But, yeah, definitely, the other cool thing about air throws is that they'll also like leave you like really close to your opponent. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do that at this range. Shit. Anyway, I already talked about chain grabs. Basically, if your opponent doesn't know the breaks on the throws, you can definitely abuse the hell out of them, and you can just get a shitload of damage. Armor with regular King, I think he has rolling death cradle, which does like 120-ish damage. It's fucking ridiculous, frankly. Yeah, I have like max muscle memory by now. 63 damage for a throw that if they don't know they can break that, then you have free reign to do it. Only problem is that it comes out crouch dash, so it's slightly seeable in that regard. So at that point you just gotta like mix in your high attacks or your mid attacks, if you have any, that is. Can I do? No. Excuse me. Weird. Anyway. Wall throws. Wall throws are technically another way of like getting good damage against the opponent at the end of a combo. King has access to a wall throw at the end of a combo. Armor King kind of has access to one. Let me flip this bitch around and quickly showcase that. Off. Let me see how bad I am at this. Boom, boom. Well, if you're able to do that like relatively easily, wall splat, tag filler, shit. Do that, I guess. Yeah, that would still count as a combo, and basically, your opponent can break that if they know which one you're doing, but you have a mix up between like a one throw and two throw on the ground. Each does pretty respectable damage. That'll work. Oh god, I did not know. I barely do wall throws with Armor King. Frankly, I just usually do this. Boom, boom. Okay, I guess that won't work. Okay, what do I know? Alright. So, first positions again. What else we got in here? Attack throws. I realized I was supposed to just introduce stuff at the very beginning and not actually go into detail about them. Oops. Throw parries. Yeah, those are just like regular parries. Low grabs. Basically, yeah. If your opponent's crouching and you're thinking about doing a crouch grab, why would you do a crouch grab when you could just launch your opponent and probably kill them? Well, at least put them in danger of being dead, since, you know, that is the name of the game, to do enough damage to win. And throws that do, well, yeah, ground throws do add to your ground game, but those are breakable, and with King, they're not as valuable as, like, or with Armor King, they're not as valuable as, like, King or Marek or characters. Generally, with Armor King, with your, like, your wake up games, you just want to, like, stick to stomps or shit like that. But yeah, so in combos that start throws start combos, which Armor King does not have access to, your opponent's definitely gonna want to avoid the hell out of those, which make fucking Bob. Anyway, so before we wrap this up, I definitely want to go down a list of I'll talk about the major upsides using throws, the drawbacks to them. Now I want to just give you some advice as to how you should actually go about using throws in some kind of manner. If you're up against an opponent of any skill, then throws are the one thing that'll definitely, or repetition is the one thing that'll get you killed. Basically, don't spam, because spamming against a skill player is the one thing that'll get you killed all the time, really. So if you're up, as you isolated before, throws could be ducked and launched. So throws are definitely complement. They shouldn't be like the core of your offense, but it should definitely be like a good complement to it. It's like, if you're playing rock paper scissors, you don't always want to be picking scissors, but on the other hand, you don't want to play without scissors. So it's like a like a give and take sort of thing with that. Never use just one throw either, because someone who knows Armor King will definitely know that this is the 1+2 throw, and if you just keep doing like the one throw over and over again, they'll eventually figure out, hey, I can break this by pressing one, or maybe they're an idiot. They don't fucking know. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Against any skilled player then that knows throw breaks, then yeah, they don't have to worry about that anymore. They can just easily avoid it. So definitely, I did say that Giant Swing is a horrifying move to be on the receiving end of, but it's still breakable. Your opponent just has to be very cautious about it. What's this? Yeah, okay. So if your opponent starts playing, I did say that throws are a great way of getting your opponent's head, since it's damage they cannot avoid. So if you catch them starting to play risky to actively avoid the throws by like ducking, 4-2-1, 3+4-2, hop kicks even, Jesus. I thought he had some mid launcher that was besides this. Can I do it? Come on, I know the input for it. Come on. Is it one? No. I don't know what it is, but he's got some mid launcher out of that, like Tekken Tag Tournament 1. Yeah, so if you catch them starting to play risky to actively avoid throws, you can definitely capitalize on it. Like, if they start backdashing way too much, you can, oh my god, chase after them doing a Shining Wizard, if I could ever do it, which apparently unless I have 2+4 mapped to something, I can't. But yeah. Also, unlike a lot of stuff I've been saying so far, don't be fooled. Throws actually can be pretty easily avoided, because as I said before, the range is pretty shit. I like how it still says high, even though I'm clearly missing. Yeah. Don't be fooled too much. Throws do still have their limitations when it comes to actually being implemented. So that's why, if you're playing a closing game, definitely always keep your throws in mind, but don't rip them until you know your opponent's always going to be blocking high, or stuff like that. Because again, one bad move, and you're gonna throw. You can use the throw, and they're gonna duck, and they're gonna launch you, and that's not good in your book. That's not gonna be very good. Period. Yeah, definitely just try to use throws at point blank range, or if you have access to long range throw, you can do it. But just make sure. What I'm trying to say is just make sure your throw is not gonna miss, and you have a good mindset of what your opponent's gonna do. That's really the trick about throws. It's definitely like between your mids or your lows. It's definitely like the one that requires the most forethought in order to use, in order to get the most dot or more to get the most mileage out of. What else we got? Definitely always practice your execution for throws. Don't be like me and just do shit raw. Definitely practice your giant swings on both one player and two player side, cause next thing you'll know, you'll keep doing down 4-1s like me, and then you'll keep getting jabs when really you want giant swings. If your opponent sees that you start messing up inputs by continuously just getting jabs, then yeah, they can easily capitalize on that shit. Yeah, definitely always practice your inputs for command throws on both sides if you're able to do so. Like I can do that on one player's side, and I could probably do it on two player side also if I'm not total shit. Yeah, basically. And last up, yeah, basically like I said, you want to use your throws when you're pressuring the opponent and they aren't attacking, because throws are still like 14 frames. They can still be hit by like 10 frames, 12 frames, 13 frames, 14 frames. Yeah, that would actually that will probably beat 14 frame launchers or dark uppers. Fuck. Anyway, so now just like quickly highlight some stuff like what you should do when you really want to just like have a really solid throw game. Yeah, just the hit notes of it. Learn and practice your inputs on one player and two player side. Know the wake up games for your throws. Like, you probably know that 1+3 will give you like fantastic wake ups. So will Tombstone. Not so much DDT though. That leaves you both grounded, but you can't do shenanigans like that. So yeah. Can't believe that's the first try. How about that shit? Definitely just keep to your throws as like a mixed close-in game. That's why I feel bad for anyone who has to use Zangief. Oh my fucking god, that's a nightmare when it happen. Always watch how your opponent responds too, because if they're breaking like every throw you do and you're mixing it up well, then they're pretty solid at it. But you can still use them at like no risk to you technically, so that's always pretty good. And if they start ducking, then you're gonna want them to keep them standing with this or like any mid you have maybe, and then you can easily like convert to other cool shit with that. And always how do I spell this? Oh yeah, always capitalize on their mistakes and get in their heads, definitely, because if you're like playing a little defensive and you do like a down 4-1 backdash and they whip something, not that, can I do this? I have no idea. Hang on. Down 4-1 backdash giant swing. Yeah, technically you can get away with that. Man, I gotta use that mix up a little more. Anyway, so that's just about all I can really say about throws. There's definitely a lot more to them than you might initially let believe. They definitely allow you to get inside your opponent's head. If used correctly, there's almost no risk in using them, as long as you're mixing up well with your mid attacks, and definitely keep this range in mind for your throws. Like, that'll just barely hit. If there's just barely enough range between you two, definitely keep in mind what your throw will be able to do. And if used correctly, they can also be used to get you into some very precarious situations like this. God, I'm getting that so consistently now. What the fuck? Okay, let me see if I can actually do off this. Yes, I can get on the first try. Hell yeah. I just had to go warm up for an hour. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, with that, if your friends start bitching that you're using throws way too much, and you actively see that they're not responding to throws, fuck them. Well, if it's like casual matches, then yeah, maybe just like get them to shut the fuck up. But if it's like a competitive match and you're out for blood, ignore them and fucking continue to throw them like you wouldn't believe. Like, oh my god, you can destroy. You might end a friendship or two, but you know what? It's worth it if you're able to get that W. because and it's also it's also their fault if they're accusing you of spamming throws and they don't know that you can duck to avoid it, you can sidestep to avoid it if you have the right timing for it. Maybe you could like snake dash out of the way. Who uses snake dash? Seriously. I can only guess the OGs of Tekken, maybe. Anyway. Or you can just backdash out of the way. It's really their fault if you're using throws and their defense is so ass they can't even recognize that and you're just standing like a fucking idiot. And you can just make them look like a fool and you're like, hey, stop. What would be a good example of this? 1 plus 3, they stand up. 1 plus 3, they stand up. 1 plus 3, they keep standing up. They don't fucking do anything else. They don't back roll, they don't tech roll, they don't do an attack, they don't stand on the ground. They just keep standing up. So, yeah, just screw them up that way. Hope it's helped. I cannot take any responsibilities for any friendships that might be terminated because of this guide. But you know what? It is their fault if they can't react appropriately to throws. And remember, in the right context, there's really no risk of throwing them out, and they can definitely be used to like reset a neutral game or escape from situations, free damage, yada yada yada. But definitely, only really, or if you're gonna use throws, definitely know your wake up options. Like, you don't have to know every wake up option, but definitely know like the most common ones. Like, I know like a frequent one in the Street Fighter is like wake up Shoryuken. So that way you just, like, if you know to go wake up short, you can just, like, hold block and you're fine, really. Probably won't work multiple times, though. Or, like, in Tekken, the most common one is just a back roll. So if they're fucking back rolling, I've shown this earlier, but I just always get a warm, fuzzy feeling inside from doing this. Maybe back quick roll. I don't know. That's a good one. Yeah, basically. I think I've gone about this long enough. So anyway, hope you guys learned a few things from this. I can only imagine how bad the editing is going to be, but anyway. Catch you guys in the next guide I do, which is probably going to be the advanced punishment guide, and that's all going to be well and good, so yeah. See you then.